What's up, YouTube? This is King Gabe,
And this is Queen Tina.
and we're here with our second royal talk here. They talking about the howling teen wolf. Howl. And also we just as of the day that we're recording this, we just got back from celebrating her birthday,
Which is tomorrow. But we just decided to just celebrate early.
So yeah, definitely wish our beautiful queen a happy birthday down there in those comments. I guess by the time the video's uploaded, it'll probably be a belated birthday, but yep. So yeah, so pretty interesting topic. We're going on wolves on her birthday. Yep. Originally, if we had started this back in October, it would have been more of a Halloween thing. But because of the type of movie it is, don't think it really matters there. Yeah, 'cause it's kind of a comedy drama.
More of a comedy than a horror flick.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, and a pretty good little comedy. Just sort of your basic little popcorn flick, sort of like movie like Splash there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, first of all, the Teen Wolf movie. This is actually, because I know there's a lot of Teen Wolf variations out there. I've seen some others. Like one that was on Fox Family. Actually that was Big Wolf on Campus, but yeah. But there are some other Teen Wolf things. So the one that we're talking about is actually from the 80s, starring Michael J. Fox, who, whether the name sounds familiar to you or not, you'll probably recognize him, when he did, hey, my name's Stuart, and I know a lot about the kids here. You probably want Jamie. She's a real good one.
He also did Back to the Future. I may remember a few clips from maybe the sequel to Back to the Future or the first one, but I haven't seen the entire movie, but I heard about it.
Oh, okay.
He was in Back to the Future. I think Christopher Lloyd was in there.
Okay, I know, and I figured Christopher Lloyd was in that one, because I know I heard that information. Yeah, but I didn't know Michael J. Fox was in there, but it's actually not too surprising though. He seemed like he would be in that movie.
I know Back to the Future was back in the 80s.
Makes sense there.
But I don't know what the exact years. The first and the second one. But it was an awesome movie.
I'm guessing he was playing a teenager there?
He was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense, because he's playing a teenager here.
Yes.
And he's a teenager going through, and yeah, I did notice the light blink, okay. He's a teenager going through puberty. And, most teenagers going through puberty, we get a Z. Oh no. Oh my God. I can't. No, don't look at me.
They're in a panic.
Yeah, oh, she's looking at my zit. I know she is. I hope they don't beat me up again. That was a couple of lines from Static Shock there. Yeah, we zit or either
trying to get the girl.
Yes, and also I won't go into a. You probably can catch on when I say this line. Mom, Dad, I've been feeling these changes. You probably can guess where that goes.
Yes.
The talk.
Yes. When your body goes through changes.
Well, this kid's going through changes, but not exactly the changes that you would think he'd go through.
These are changes that are out of the ordinary. That you don't see or hear in reality.
Oh yeah, jeez Louise. That's the best. That line. I think that was the best line read I'm not saying he did a bad. I mean, he did a good job with the movie. But I think out of the entire movie, that was the line that made me really laugh after his wolf transformation. It's like,
You can make it made everyone laugh.
like, oh. But we'll get to that in a second, because I definitely gotta talk about how I feel about that transformation there. So first of the movie, the movie starts off right away with introducing us to his character, which is named Scott. He's on the basketball team, but not exactly the best basketball player. Yep, and there's this whole dramatic build-up in the very first of the movie where it's like you hear the first sign of a wolf growl, and he's like, "Oh, is he gonna make the shot?" Because it's almost like if you added a wolf growl, if you took away the singing from High School Musical 3, and if Zac Efron did a wolf growl.
Yes.
But instead of making the shot like Zac Efron did, or in his case, he passed it over to Rocket Man, and Rocket Man made the shot. In this case, he misses the shot like Carlton in Fresh Prince and his Bel Air team.
It's like he has doubts for himself to see whether or not am I good enough.
Pretty much, yeah. He's kind of got that going for him. That's sort of what they are that's what they're portraying of his character, someone that's not so good at stuff, and not a lot of people like him outside of the few friends that he does have there.
He thinks of himself as just average.
Pretty much, and he wants something extraordinary to happen.
Yes.
Horse turning into a wolf was not on his mind, but I guess when he meant extra, I guess he meant like
being cool and popular.
Yeah, what's up? How you doing? Or how you doing?
Sir.
And how are you? So apparently his so you get changes slow. Oh, you get a real good buildup of the changes of this wolf that they're hinting at in him. You hear the growl. There's wolf hair on his chest when he was actually not a full thing of wolf hair. It's this long strand on his chest when they're in the locker room changing. Sort of kind of like another wolf movie. What? No, not another wolf movie. Kind of like Paranormal 5 when Jesse was pulling that long eyelash out of his eye, but. Yeah, I would prefer the wolf hair.
At least it's less gruesome.
That, and also at least he doesn't turn evil or anything. So, yeah, I'd rather be a Jeez Louise wolf
than being possessed by some demon.
Yeah, wolf, not Toby. And when I say Toby, I don't mean the steam train from Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh boy. Also, notice his coach in the movie really likes KFC, and apparently this is why he's so busy.
He mentioned that the IRS is on his case, and he did admit that I rather take money. I don't mind getting money from you, getting money off of you. Like, does he ever get? It makes you wonder how much does he get paid on his coaching job? It's like they didn't pay him too much. Yeah,
that could be maybe. I guess even in real life that can be a thing. Maybe some schools, because a lot of times they be you'll hear schools talking about trying to get funds for this or that and the other. So yeah, low pay income is a possibility. Like but. Yeah, to say something like that, yeah, dude, as Floyd saying in one of them Tyler Perry plays, Laugh to Keep From Crying, you better be glad this a play, cause your butt would have been whopped.
Or in his case, he might be in serious trouble in reality
Oh yeah.
by the IRS themselves.
I think it. I don't think it. Well, probably that, and probably more than just the IRS. It probably the school board.
Oh, if they found that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, overhear him saying something like that, but
At least nobody from the school board were here to hear that.
yeah. However, the way the school board is in this movie, yeah, that's kind of aquatic. You get some other people. I mean, some other people compared to the coach compared to some of the other people in the school system.
Yeah.
Coach seems kind of minor. Because, yeah, he's just, saying it, but he's not really, at least as far as we know, not doing anything. Yes, even if he was, yeah, he'd be pretty minor compared to some of these other faculty members of the school, yeah. Because, yeah, you got some pretty crooked faculty members, almost make you think of some of the teachers in a Yu-Gi-Oh manga. Kind of somewhat abusive, and whether it be verbal or physical. Yeah.
And I noticed there's also a few. I know there's a chubby guy on the basketball team, and they sure like to fat shame him behind his back, and he don't even know it.
And then again, even when he does know it, they seem to sometimes say it too.
They call him Chubby instead of giving a specific name.
Yeah, you're never gonna hear this kid's name.
Yeah, they just call him Chubby.
Yeah.
At least with this day and age, people are more appreciative towards plus size people, as well as respectable.
Especially it's sort of like the disrespect that those of us wearing glasses get in some animes like Sailor Moon. We're nerds, so we have dizzy marks in our glasses. So on top of that, there's this girl named. If you think the fat shaming is bad, wait till you hear this girl. There's a girl named Boof.
Boof? It sounds like a nickname.
Yeah.
But we don't know what her actual name is.
Yeah. Now I will admit maybe that's not quite as bad as what Chubby's going through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still would be nice to hear the girl's real name. I mean, please don't tell me that that's on her birth certificate.
It's like you're calling a guy Poof. Poof.
I guess the parents must be fans of Fairly Odd Parents,
even though they haven't been made just yet.
Or if they named them that in this day and time.
Oh, Poof.
Poof. I'm not a fun. I don't just go. And I go away. Poof. So Boof. Boof seems to like Scott, our main character. So apparently, I guess if Scott is like the Troy Bolton, she's like the Gabriella. But apparently, Scott doesn't seem to take very notice of this, and he's more interested in this other girl, Pamela, who you find out has a boyfriend.
And it turns out the boyfriend just came out of prison and he just went back to high school because of his parole officer.
Yeah.
And I noticed he looked older. Her boyfriend.
20 years old. Let that sink. 20 years old on parole. Let that sink in for a second. Even for the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, but I kind of, the fact, now let's just say if he was high school age.
Yes.
Just say if he was high school age, the boyfriend. The fact of Scott trying to hit on this girl, even knowing she has a boyfriend, yeah, I kind of gotta relate to this here. Even as stupid as this sounds, I was back in high school like him. Back in high school, before I met Christina here, I tried to hit on this girl named Mona Fey, who had a boyfriend too. I never and was and because she even told me she did, and yet I was still trying to think like, oh, I can win her over. Yeah, this is my reaction to me back then. If I were to look myself at, I think I was like 15 or 16 back then. So if I were to go back in time, this would like me at 33, my reaction. Really. And if you think that was bad coming from me, oh yeah, wait, prom night. Since I didn't have no date for prom, I actually went to dancing with her. She actually like, okay. And we're right there in front of her boyfriend too.
Oh dear, that's not good.
He was and he was and he did not look happy either. Yeah. One of and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was one of the stupid high school things. So yeah, I kind of can relate to that because technically thinking back on that, I think I may have did worse than Scott, possibly. So yeah, that's one. Not saying that it's a good thing. It's obviously not a good thing, but I can. Yeah, I can, that's why I can't really point fingers at Scott there. Yeah, so yeah, and so we get more of the wolf transformation when he has this really sensitive hearing to a dog whistle in the shop. By the way, okay, we mentioned about the boyfriend. Oh, then there's a scene where they go into this shop to get beer. Now, of course, you all know the case that you probably can guess what'll happen here because, you know, you can't sell beer to minors.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess this was a thing back, might be a thing now. Some teenagers might try to pull something like this. But yeah, it was really, apparently, I guess this was really a big thing with the 80s. Teenagers try to like, can we get a keg of beer for their party?
Yes.
But of course, this old man that's working there, he ain't buying it. But Scott comes in there. Another sign of his wolf transformation. His eyes glow. Give me a keg of beer now.
And I know that old man was scared, so scared that he thinks that that boy was possessed, possessed by a demon.
Yeah, and it kind of, and one thing I will say about the signs of the wolf transformation, when it gets to that part,
yes,
it kind of leaves a mystery of what it's going to be like when he finally becomes this wolf. So you it's kind of hard to guess what will come of him being full on wolf until you actually see it happen.
If an actual teenager trying to get alcohol in this day and age and his or her eyes start to glow, the person who owns the shop might just call the police.
Probably so.
They won't give him. They won't give him the beer because they following the laws.
Police, or the fact of him having glowing eyes and a demonic voice. Give me the beer. Yeah. It might do more than call the police. It might call.
Call an exorcist.
Yeah, exorcist, the pastor. Do like.
Or they might, or not. They might call a mental institution.
I would go with the. Well, might possibly be that.
Yes.
But I would probably go on the direction of the pastor or the exorcist because of red eyes. Yeah. Or you could do like, or they might possibly just cower like Bulk and Skull when that happened when Tommy was evil.
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with him? I don't know, but he needs to get his eyes checked. Oh. Yeah, so, and of course, there's also car surfing in this movie, sort of like what you see in movies like Surf Ninjas.
Well, back in the 80s, I know in this day and time, you don't see people car surf anymore because it's dangerous.
And probably I would assume probably somebody fell off at some point back then that probably made them okay, no more car surfing at all.
It might have resulted to a major injury or possibly death.
Especially. Yep.
I think they stopped doing that in the 90s. Car surfing.
Oh yeah.
They may have stopped doing that because I don't see too many people car surfing in the 90s.
Yep, and you know nobody ain't gonna be doing it now.
Yes.
Yeah, so of course they go to this party, and after the party's over, yeah, that's when the full-on wolf transformation comes. And I got now this I think is the most humorous wolf transformation I see, and I love it. He comes home, you know, he's checking in the car mirror, and he runs in the house, and you hear the music, doo-doo, doo-doo. Son?
Well, that's the best part of the transformation is the music.
Do 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 do. Hey, looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
The claw.
I notice I hear a little bit of howl in the music.
Oh yeah, it
a little bit
was.
of howls.
And they even whoever did the effects, they even did like the bulging of his forehead. And I didn't know why he opened the cabinet and closed it. But you get the hair, ears.
Imagine that was me in a cat transformation.
Oh, that'd be way too easy.
With the same music, but you just hear meows.
Well, you be the cat's meow. Yeah. and then I come up, and then all of a sudden I come in there and I'll turn into Pepe Le Pew. Oh my darling, oh my darling. I'm giving a friends. I be all pip. Oh, yeah, cat. That's way too easy. It'll make me turn to Pepe Le Pew. Yeah.
And we also know that his father's also a wolf.
Oh yeah. See, apparently his father's able to control it at will, and they don't come out and say it, but you kind of can put two and two together of how this thing works a little bit. Apparently, the first transformation occurs. There's a build up to it, yes, but apparently the first full transformation occurs at the full moon. So, I guess leading up to the full moon's rise that night, yeah, that's why it was sort of, hair, claws, hair, and all that. Then full transformation that night. After that, Scott is actually able to kind of turn it on and off. A few times it comes on its own, but he does, eventually he does pretty much get to the point that his dad is at, which I assume is because his dad's an adult, so yeah, obviously he's probably been through, he's already been through this and probably done this quite a few times.
Yeah.
I believe an explanation is in order. And just I looked at this, I could actually picture me and my dad in that situation. And I probably have like all black hair, like in my wolf form. I believe an explanation is in order, son. An explanation? Jeez Louise! Oh, jeez Louise!
It would have been cool if he was transformed into full wolf, being on all fours.
Probably, but I think they went because you have the on two legs type of wolf.
Oh, they tried to go with the
yeah,
half wolf, half human hybrid.
Right. You got different. It's different forms of it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the wolf, in the whole wolf fiction and everything.
Yeah.
But now what would have been interesting. I don't know if this was a budget thing or anything, but if they had thought to do this and could, if they gave him just a little bit of a snout there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the wolf, it is a good wolf form, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's just a little nitpick. Would have been nice to see a wolf snout, you know.
Yeah.
Especially, and it still would have the comedy. Yeah. Because, like I said, the wolf, dad, yeah, he's like, he mentions that, you know, this kind of thing is, you know, in the family, you know, and the reason he hadn't told the son about this because sometimes it skips generations. Sort of like the whole thing with dragons in that show American Dragon Jake Long. Yeah, so he said sometimes it skips generations, so it's no way of knowing who's gonna get it until it happens, I guess. Yeah.
I know we don't see any female relatives in his side of the family. Scott referring to Scott's family.
They mentioned about his mom, but there is kind of a hint at what could have happened to Mama, though.
My assumption is she may have been deceased.
Probably so, and I think that assistant principal may have had something to do with that.
Mr. Form.
Yes, and because there's a little bit of a history that we get some bits and pieces of, and if you listen closely to it when you watch the movie for yourself, you probably can put it together. You probably can kind of put some together yourself of what's going on with Dad and Principal Thorne. Yeah.
And why Principal Thorne is always on Scott's case at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just like with Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Oh yeah, they definitely did that. So at first he kind of has trouble controlling his inner wolf. You know, it's like there's a part where he goes up to try to write something on the chalkboard, and all of a sudden, don't change.
Yes.
Yeah. However, then there's a case where he just shows his buddy Styles like.
And he's excited.
He reacts like the way the friend reacted to Ryan Reynolds becoming the Green Lantern. I'm sorry, Ryan Reynolds, I had to mention that. Please don't get mad at me. Don't.
Home's not watching.
Yeah. Well, just don't show up. Don't break the fourth wall and pop up in the Deadpool costume. I told y'all not to mention Green Lantern.
He just want to get out of his memory.
But I had to mention it because, yeah, that's the way the friend in that movie was reacting when he turned into the... So, then of course, you know, everybody's got to find out at some point. It happens during a basketball game and everybody gangs up on Scott
and I'm surprised when they look at him, I'm surprised nobody didn't scream or run. They just paused.
That would be a realistic reaction, don't get me wrong. But I like to think that maybe it's because they saw Scott go down this area, so they probably figured, like, what the heck happened to Scott? So they're probably, I think what it is, you know how they say when you see a vicious dog, right?
Yes.
And you know, you tell you don't act scared, just walk on by, because a lot of times the dogs see you all of a sudden like or you show, or as one of my professors at college said, do not show a vicious dog your teeth. Hi, puppy. Yeah, because they take that as a challenge. Like, they think you're going to bite them or something.
The way Scott looks on his wolf form reminds me of Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to figure out what was happening, and probably trying to see what was Scott going to do.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, you know, like when you, like I mentioned with the dog thing, or any wild animal, you know, you're like, okay, just stay still. No sudden movements. Achoo! Ah!
You just have to leave them alone.
Right, so yeah, then Scott, of course, wins the game in his wolf form, and everybody likes the wolf now.
Yes,
Yeah.
including Pamela.
Oh yeah, yeah, she likes him because he got the beast mode.
As for Booth, she felt like she'd been left out.
Yeah, I guess.
Not only that, but he didn't tell her about his wolf transformation.
Right.
Because she's always been there since when they were kids, childhood friends.
Yep, and much like Ron to Kim Possible, she kind of likes him. But yeah, the thing, he's never caught on to this. And so yeah, that's the thing, he's like, well, why didn't she just tell him? Sometimes sometimes, especially, I'm just saying, sometimes girls be just like to, well, that when they like a guy, sometimes they aren't going to come out and say it. Sometimes you just gotta figure it out. Especially you've been with this girl half your life, you kind of think you would. But as a certain nostalgia critic once said about the whole thing with boys and girls, and it sounds cruel, but it's kind of true. We always try to go after the ones that don't want us. And yeah, it is true, because like I just mentioned earlier, me trying to win over that girl Mona Fay from her boyfriend. Yeah, yeah, that's we are kind of like it's as Timon say, it's a hard truth.
Yes.
So yeah, but and yeah, he does gain a bit of an ego. Also, I think I think you mentioned, what if the vice principal was Mr. T?
Oh, Mr. T?
Yeah, or was that you that mentioned, or was it?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, well, it's in mine. No, I wasn't for sure. Maybe if I heard you say it and wrote it down or not, but yeah, we were just wondering, like, could you imagine if the vice principal was Mr. T?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, he sort of gains an ego, sort of like that pass it to Will thing in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he scored all the baskets, and he didn't pass the ball to his teammates.
Right, and to be honest, Fresh Prince may have got it from this movie, since the movie came out before Fresh Prince.
Yeah, back in the 80s, back in the 90s.
Oh yeah, and
it happened in the first season.
Right. Yeah.
I guess in their case, pass it to Scott, even though the coach didn't have nothing to do with this. Scott just fought that on his own. It's all about me.
And of course, the coach just went along with that and figured, well, we're winning. Okay, do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and because of his wolf form, he gets asked to be in a play with Pamela, which, and remember, this movie is I think the movie was PG.
PG back in the 80s.
Yeah, so in this day and time, this would probably be a PG-13, because after they do their performance in the play, lock the door, Scott. What are you doing? So, what does it take to turn the wolf on?
And you know what happens next.
The only thing I'm gonna say about it is, how?
He just gained some excitement out of Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards they went on a date at the bowling alley. And then her boyfriend showed up. And she told him, I'm still seeing that guy. I'm still seeing him.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Yeah, so basically Scott is her side fling at this moment. Yeah, she's just using the wolf as a side fling. Yeah. Yeah, dump her. Break it off with her.
It's not worth it.
Probably, I probably should go back in time and tell myself that. Nah, I don't know if that would work though. Yeah, I was a much different person back then.
Scott as the wolf is kind of like Pamela's sugar daddy. Kinda.
He want, I want to be your sugar daddy. I want to be your sugar daddy.
Except he's not a pimp and he's not rich either.
Maybe I guess technically a sugar wolfie.
Sugar wolf.
Sugar wolfie. Oh boy. And yeah, Teen Wolf has to do some car surfing too. Surfing USA.
And he was showing off by doing backflips.
Oh yeah.
And headstands.
And of course, Dad's not pleased when he hears all this. You know, Dad's thing was for him to accept what he was, not to all of a sudden, you know, become, well, pretty much the equivalent of love don't cost a thing.
And I think he told a brief history between him and Mr. Form, and his father scared Mr. Form, and that's why he had that fear. Mr. Form himself.
Yeah, so and assuming that Mom was involved in this story, he didn't say it, but yeah, and in my theory, and that could be true. Thorn may have probably killed Mama. I'm just saying it's a possibility, you know, because Mama went for him instead of Thorn. Thorn probably got really ticked off about that, and like, oh, well, if I can't have her, no one can have her.
If he did kill the mom, he would have been in jail for murder.
Unless he killed her when she was in her wolf form. Think about it. Because in wolf form, yeah, because he would probably only get charged if she was still human form. See, I'm just saying. Or either he may have done it in the black. I'm just saying, in the black, you know. When I'm saying the black, you know, under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going by something that the mom may have died from natural causes or health conditions.
Well, it could be that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I guess maybe my end was a little dark there.
Either that or a possible divorce.
I wouldn't go. The divorce don't quite seem likely, considering how Scott's dad is.
Yeah, sort of humble.
Yeah, and he seemed like he really loved. And then plus he even said that Mama was a wolf too, just like him.
Yes.
So yeah, kind of hard to see how a couple that both turned into wolves would want to break off one another. Yeah, with a good chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess a death in the family.
Yeah, in many ways.
Yeah.
Any of y'all got some theories? Yeah, you put in the comment if y'all got some theories there of what could possibly happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, this also answers why the vice principal hates Scott because of Daddy.
Yes.
Later, then we get Booth wanting to go to the dance with Scott, but she wants to go with him as himself, not in wolf form. Yep. And it's not, and keep this in mind, it's not that she hates the fact of him turning into the wolf, but it's, all this, him showboating and stuff like that. That's what she don't like.
All the showboating and the popularity he's getting.
Right. She just wants him. Yeah. Sort of
like I just love you for you.
Exactly. The way he, before all this, and that regular guy. So, but Scott feels like he needs the wolf, sort of like how Sherman felt about Buddy Love, when he, in the first movie there. Yes, and, he goes to the dance as the wolf, but he does give Pamela her wish.
Yeah.
He does try to just be as himself and have one nice dance with Pamela. But then, of course, Nick, for some reason, even though he's with Pamela, I mean, even though he's with Booth, he's not even bothered. He's not even with Pamela right now.
Yeah.
And for some reason, even Nick got his girl with him. Pamela's yours, Nick. She's right here. Y'all dancing. For some reason, even though I got Pamela and he's with this other girl and not mine, I'm still mad at him for some reason. I gotta go start a fight with him.
I know he did that just to make him angry and attack him.
Yeah, and then
and get in trouble.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess he wanted to humiliate Scott. And because of that, the vice principal, being a butthole, blames Scott but not Nick. Yeah, don't you just hate that in films and sometimes in real life sometimes?
Accusing the victim.
Yeah. Like,
instead of the person who caused it.
Right. Like if I go in, I go in school, if I would go in school and some jerk decides to punch me, knock my glasses off, why you? But then only I get in trouble, and not them. I can see both of us because you catch both of us fighting, but why? But you only go for me. Yeah. Yeah, I always hate when that happens there. They always, especially in film, they set that up like that. However, Scott's dad saves Scott from being expelled there, and even makes the vice principal wet himself.
Looked like he still had that fear in him. That's why he was looking down.
You just wet yourself. Yes. Say Tito. Tito!
I know that's what happened to him back then when he scared him.
So, because of all this, Scott then realizes what's going on. And this is the one thing I really like about Scott's character here towards the end of the movie. First of all, he convinces the team to play without the wolf because he starts to really think about what all he's been through. And, especially with, his teammates, other people in general, his dad, Booth, and, he plays as just himself, and actually, with the team's help, all the team working together, they actually able to win the game and obtain victory.
It's almost like a moment of redemption for himself.
Right, and just like how Troy had Rocket Man make the shot in High School Musical 3, Chubby makes the winning shot. Yep.
It proved to show you that all types of people can do anything, including plus-size people.
Right, and also in Scott's case, one thing I really like about the character, as opposed to what we'll be talking about when we talk about in our third talk about the sequel.
Yeah,
that's coming. Scott actually seems more. He has an ego when he's going through this thing, the wolf part and the popularity, but it's not. He's not mean spirited even in that. He doesn't ever get mean spirited or anything much, except with Nick. But then again, Nick starts that fight though, so I mean pretty much it's just reacting to what Nick's doing. That's pretty much the only tiff that he had is basically with Nick, but. Everything else, it seemed like, he's just kind of naive to it. And what I mean by that, at first he's not quickly aware to, why, noticing that some of his teammates and stuff like that are treating him differently. And of course this was even before the wolf, not catching on to that Booth, wants to be more than friends with him there. So it's he's pretty much it's pretty much just he doesn't know, he doesn't know, and getting these wolf powers and being popular, he wanted to be more than average, so he just kind of rolls with it, and like, hey, I'm somebody now. And it's pretty relatable and understandable. I mean, you get a taste of popularity, yeah. Even as a good person, you would probably like it a little bit, especially at that age. Yeah.
Especially when you're a teenager. You get that excitement of popularity for a while, and then as time goes on, you just feel bored that you just want to get back to the way things were before.
Right. So.
Just normal.
Yeah. Yeah. We all. Any of us. It could happen to something like that could happen to any of us. And the like I said again, the thing that I really like it was, with Scott is that, yeah, his actions are basically out of pretty much just that and not being aware of, how it's affecting the others. But when he is made aware, then, he really like, oh, snap. Even like the thing with Booth wanting to ask him to dance, he felt like he needed to go to the dance with the wolf, and he does do that. But and Booth is like, okay, fine, I'll go. Fine, I'll still dance with you. But then after dancing together, in his wolf form, he does, tries to change, he changes back to give Booth her wish there.
Yes.
Even then, so yeah, he does, they say, yeah, well, naive, but, he does learn. And as he learns, he gets better. Pretty much like Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man. Yeah. Yep. So, that's, you got anything else to add about that?
Mainly it is a classic movie, the first one, that it should have just stayed as a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Because everything does make sense in the first film of why Scott was given this gift being the wolf, because he's always trying to fit in. He doesn't want to be average no more. He just want to fit in. It's about fitting in.
Yep.
As well as being true to yourself.
Yeah, like that. It's kind of like that song "True to Your Heart" there.
I think the reason why they made a sequel because of the money they made in the box office, and also because for fans. They doing that for the fans.
Yeah.
They also had an animated series, but after the first film and before the second film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the animated Teen Wolf series.
Okay. Definitely might. Yeah, guess you might have to check that. Might have to check that out. And just on my own there.
I bet they made a few differences between the movie and the animated series. They made a few changes to make it more kid friendly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, obviously, if it's kid friendly, yeah, they obviously did. Yeah. Sort of like with Ghostbusters and making their animated series there.
Yeah, making it kid friendly for the kids.
That's right. Yeah, like changing Bill Murray to Lorenzo music.
Well, in the early seasons.
Yeah.
But in the later seasons, they got a guy who's trying to sound like Garfield, but it's not cutting it. He tried his hardest, but it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently he didn't do quite as good as, when Dan Castellaneta tried to do Robin Williams. I'll give Dan this. He was a little bit closer.
Yeah, but more humorous.
Hold it. Did you waste your boo on a bit?
But you still hear Homer Simpson's voice in there.
Yeah, but he was doing what he could do there.
Yes, he's just being himself.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So was there anything else you wanted to add there?
Yeah, let's just say it is funny. It is funnier.
Jeez Louise!
Especially when he said that. Would have been nice if they made him an actual wolf.
Hey, well, for what we got, it worked for the humor. It worked for the humor sake of it. We did. I think that was pretty good there.
Yeah, I think MTV has their own version of Teen Wolf, but it's more of a drama and possibly horror.
Oh yes.
Yeah, more scary. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Never seen the MTV version, but maybe heard about it.
I probably have, 'cause like I said,
Yeah.
I know there are other Teen Wolf titles here, and plus I have dabbled in werewolf movies in general, because I do have I do like seeing whenever I get a chance seeing a good werewolf movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Twilight has werewolves,
Yeah.
but they don't have too much screen time.
Yeah, and then they side with the vampires. I like it better with the Boy That Cried Werewolf from Nickelodeon. Yeah, that was better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
That's all.
oh, okay. Well, that's what we got for Teen Wolf, and I guess I guess that means the next episode we have to talk about the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're wondering how that's going to turn out, jeez Louise!
Yeah. I'm not gonna spoil it for everybody. Let's just say all I can say is it's disappointing.
Yeah, it is.
Should have just stayed as a standalone.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that in our next Royal Talk there.
Yeah.
So, till then, we'll see you then.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheese, Louise.